You know, it's pretty great not being sleep deprived. Good times. Good times. What is going on, everybody? My name is Demetri, and today I'm going to bring you a video talking about the reason you're always tired. The number of people who feel too tired to function is becoming a real problem in America and across the world. With increasingly long working hours behind desks and a decrease in the activity of the average population, people are feeling much worse than they used to. They feel like they have no time, money, or energy to spare. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the different ways that you can energize yourself on your path to building a better life. Before I get into everything, make sure to smash that like button down below. It helped me out a lot and I'd really appreciate it. Also, comment down below how your energy levels have been feeling. Mine have been, some days less, some days more with the current situation going on, but I'm just curious as to how you guys are doing. So in my experience, there's a little part of health and wellness that's often overlooked by big pharma and the big health conglomerates. This is about specific vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that kind of make up the different parts of you that can be energized, or without them, you'll sort of deteriorate and become tired all the time. With that in mind, the three things that people need to make sure that they keep up are their vitamin B12 levels, their vitamin D levels, and their ferritin levels. In my personal life, I've been deficient in all three. And after fixing that problem, I then became much more energized. It came in different bursts, right? I originally was low in vitamin D when I was in high school, and I didn't know. My mom is very into holistic medicine, especially with supplements, and I found my energy levels were down and I was vitamin D deficient. So I got that fixed. And you gotta remember, I run outside and I have been for years, every day. So I got my daily dose of, the sun giving me vitamin D. But it's often forgotten that you can't get more than a certain amount of vitamin D from the sun every day. Your body stops intaking it after a while. That's just not enough for a lot of people. So you need to remember that vitamin D is something that you need to get from a supplement if you're someone who's naturally deficient in it. Then from my active lifestyle, I became iron deficient because I wasn't, eating the proper foods to bring ferritin back into my system. And I was suppressing it coming in general because I was having more dairy than I usually did. Little known fact, if you eat dairy right after you have something that's, heavy in iron, like meat or something, you actually don't intake ferritin as easily. It kind of suppresses that intake. While if you have something high in vitamin C, like orange juice or something, you'll actually have a much better absorption of the iron. So if you're feeling low in your energy levels, check out your iron and see whether you're low in ferritin. So I don't methylate vitamin B12, and I was deficient in it. Impaired methylation can lead to depression, anxiety, hormone imbalance, fatigue, a bunch of very negative things. And I found out that I was deficient in it, and I also didn't methylate it. So I needed to start taking a supplement with methylation factor in it so that I could get that on top of just the base vitamin B12. So if you want to know these different things about yourself, all I got to say is, first of all, make sure you're eating a healthy diet overall, and you're avoiding dairy right after something that's high in iron so that you kind of offset that possibility of rejection of the absorption of iron. But you should get a full blood panel. I fully recommend, if you're not feeling it, that you should check out your levels across the board, because that cost of supplements, that cost of the doctor's visit and getting a blood panel is much, much less than the constant cost of you feeling bad all the time and feeling tired. So a lot of people might be predisposed to being deficient in these different areas, whether they know it or not, whether you're eating the right diet or not. Sometimes you're just deficient in these areas, and supplements can make up for that. So I'm not going to sell any specific supplements here. I'm just going to say that, that supplements are an option, and that if you have a healthy diet, that you might want to look into them, because if you're already doing what you need to from a, workout perspective, from a intake of what you're eating food-wise, I honestly think that you need to look at supplements as an option, because I was eating healthy, I was working out all the time, and I wasn't feeling good. So if that's not working out for you, you need to look into supplements. So the next thing that's going to keep you from always being tired is getting enough sleep and getting proper sleep. If you have a night where you only get 6 hours, but you've been consistently getting 8, maybe even 9 hours of sleep, or 7, something that's in the right normal range, you're going to be okay. You're not going to wake up feeling awful. But if you do it consistently where you only sleep 6 hours, then you're only getting 6 hours of sleep. But like one off day here or there will really not break, that sort of up feeling that you have when you're getting consistent sleep. Being sleep deprived is consistent failure to hit that 7 to 9 hour mark. It's also important to remember that in order for you to get 8 hours of sleep, you need to be in bed, more than 8 hours beforehand. So if you're going to be in bed by 10 p.m., right, and you want to get 8 hours of sleep, so you're getting up at 6. Newsflash, you're only going to get like 7 hours and 30 minutes, 7 hours and 40 minutes. It takes the average person 10 to 20 minutes to fall asleep. And let's be honest, a lot of us scroll through our phone or they're texting somebody like before they go to bed. So they don't actually get that right amount of sleep if they're not with their eyes closed, laying down 10 to 20 minutes of just pure silence. That is the amount of time that it takes for you to fall asleep. So I just say, take half an hour extra when you're planning that, like when I'm in bed time, and say, okay, I'm in bed from 9:30, 9:45 till 10, and then I'm getting up at 6, then you're gonna get 8 hours of sleep. A key thing to remember when it comes to getting proper sleep is getting 5 hours on one night and 10 hours on another is really not the optimal way for you to get the right kind of sleep that you need. Just because you slept extra hours to try to make up for that previous time that you had missed out on sleep, it's not going to be optimal, and you're going to feel worse than if you had just slept 8 hours 2 nights in a row. Keeping a consistent sleep schedule is important for you to be in that work, sleep, repeat sort of body rhythm that's going to get you through those days that are going to be a little tougher than the normal ones. It's best to have your body programmed to wake up even a couple minutes before your alarm goes off. Personally, I'm getting to that point where half the time I wake up about 3 to 5 minutes before 5 a.m. So that consistent sleep schedule is going to actually make it easier for you to fall asleep as well. With all the modern distractions we have now, it's very easy for our bodies to not want to fall asleep. But if you have that time where you consistently have a winding down routine and you're always going to bed at that same time and then waking up at that same time, your natural body clock is going to make you a little more tired around that time because it knows that that's when you usually go to sleep. When I say a winding down routine, I mean something where you're avoiding any sort of electronic for 30 minutes. You go and you wash your face, brush your teeth, whatever it is, that nightly routine that you do that while not having any sort of technological distractions or stimulus so that you can wind down, take 30 to 40 minutes and get to the point where you're just wanting to hit the hay. To make sure that this happens, you might need to keep your phone out of your bedroom. I think that's an ideal thing for most people. Personally, I can't manage that all the time. I do my best to, but it's something that I definitely notice a difference when I don't have my phone. I get more sleep than when I do. At the minimum, you should set it somewhere where you can't grab it, like while you're laying in bed. So I personally set it like 10 feet away. It's really good to be able to wake up in the morning and immediately have to walk the alarm clock so that you get out of bed and you're forced to, get up and move. So you're not trying to get back into the bed and fall asleep again. The old saying, you get out what you put in, goes far beyond, your work ethic or anything like that. This also includes what you eat and how you treat your body regarding your nutritional habits. Eating the right healthy foods will give you more energy, and it's honestly a common problem for people not to have enough vegetables and fruit in the United States and other countries as well. According to the CDC, only 12.2% of Americans get the recommended 2 to 3 cups of servings of vegetables per day. That's really not good. I'm kind of surprised that it was that low. I mean, I know a lot of people who genuinely do eat salads and that sort of thing, but I guess maybe I'm just around people who are healthy. I think it's something that definitely needs to be improved. If you get that sort of healthy food in you, you're going to feel more fueled for long periods of time. You're not going to have sugar rushes and then crashes. Consistent energy is key to having more productive days, and that's what healthy foods will do for you. Half the battle is also avoiding what you shouldn't eat. So I'm talking junk food here, obviously desserts should be a treat and they should be kept as such. Anytime you have a dessert, more than like once a week, it's really not a treat at that point. It's just kind of part of the eating routine you have. So when you think about that, you got to remember that it's going to not help you in the long term. Sugar is not good for your body. We shouldn't be having as much sugar as a culture as we already are having. Most even granola bars and cereals are packed with more sugars than we should have in a day. So it's really important that you minimize those sort of things because having more sugar is going to give you inconsistent energy. And as I mentioned earlier, inconsistent energy with highs and lows is going to make you have huge slumps and become extremely unproductive when you have them. Another way to have more energy is to start exercising. 5-6 times a week is ideal, but if you can only do it every other day or something like that, that's still great. Getting exercise and getting that blood flowing and getting that 20 to 30 minutes of cardiovascular or getting that heart rate up exercise is going to make a vast difference as to how you feel and how your energy levels are. Most people think about exercising in regards to I need a gym membership, I need to go out and run, but those are not the only things you can do. Bodyweight workouts are ideal because you only need yourself and a small space. You don't need any weights or anything that's extra outside of what you have. So sure, maybe getting a yoga mat will be convenient, but you could always place down a towel or like a blanket or something if you really want to keep your floor clean. So it's really not like anything that's going to take a crazy amount of time either. Usually bodyweight workouts are pretty high intensity for short periods of time, which is great for the average person because it doesn't eat up too much of their time. They get that daily motion and they get that aerobic activity, and then when they're done, they're going to feel much more energized. It's going to take not that much time and they're going to be in better shape for it. Only like 30 minutes, for 5 days a week, maybe even 4 days a week is pretty fine. So 2 to 3 hours a week max is what you're looking at here, and it's something where your heart's going to be better for it, your mood's going to be better for it, and pretty much every aspect of you is going to improve if you work out consistently. It's not about every single day, it's about consistency. As I keep mentioning on this channel, consistency is key. Even if it's just a 15-minute walk during your lunch break or something when you're at work, it's important to get your body moving out of that chair because this sedentary lifestyle that we live is really not ideal for the way our bodies are made. While energy may seem to be in short supply right now, I can guarantee you that if you change some little things within your life, you're going to have immense changes. You're going to find that the energy lacking that you had before is going to improve, and you're going to find yourself in a much better place than you previously were. By having better energy levels, you're going to accomplish more, and this is going to snowball into an effect of consistent productivity, improved lifestyle, and you're going to build a better life for yourself. As always, I want to wish all of you guys your best on your journey towards building a better life and improving that productivity and your life overall. With that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. The feedback's been awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the help on getting this channel back on track after that weird setback that we had. You guys have been awesome. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below talking about what your normal exercise routines are, morning routines are, those sort of things. Something about your health that keeps you on a path towards, having more energy than you would otherwise not have. So with that being said, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.